Hi everyone! Today we are going to look at your short story assignment for this course. We're going to discuss what you should and should not have in it. Before we begin, let's go over your assignment quickly. For this assignment, you will create an outline for a fictional short story that incorporates situational irony. This is when actions have an effect that is opposite of what was intended, so the outcome is different than what was expected. A weak example of situational irony that I do not expect to see in a senior level paper would be a student waking up thinking he is late for school only to find out that it is Saturday, after he rushes around to get there. I see this topic far too often, so I do not want to see this in your story since it is my example in this presentation. Let's get started with what your short story should include for this assignment. First, we need to have characters. Notice that this is plural. Your story becomes very limited if your narrator is the only character speaking, so please be sure to add as many as you need and develop them all to let your reader really get to know them in your story. Second, your story should include dialogue. Dialogue is a conversation between two or more people as a feature of a book, play, or movie. This ties back to needing characters as a requirement for the story, noted on the rubric as well. Dialogue between your characters helps develop relationships and strengthen your plot. Please know that formatting of dialogue is necessary as well. If you have different lines of dialogue back and forth and it is seen in a paragraph like this example, it gets confusing for the reader to see who is speaking. Instead, you want to have a new paragraph each time there is a new speaker, as seen in this correct example below. Next, your story needs to have conflicts. This could be internal, external, or both. Remember, internal conflicts happen within the mind of the character, where the external conflict is happening between the character and any external force in your story. This could be between another person, supernatural force, against society, or anything of that extent. Last, but certainly not least, your story needs to include a well-formatted plot. This includes an exposition, a rising action, the climax, falling action, and a resolution. Sometimes stories can begin at the exposition and can begin mid-action. It is your job as the writer to develop your story to begin smoothly, even if it is in the middle of something occurring. Also, please take note that your situational irony will occur somewhere between your climax and the resolution of your story. Now, let's touch base on two things your story should not include. Your story should not just be a summary of a plot. One big sign that your story is a summary of a plot, rather than just a story itself, is the lack of dialogue. You want to develop your plot and characters through dialogue rather than writing paragraphs telling your reader about what is happening. Second, you do not just want to tell a personal story of your life. Although you are encouraged to use your life as inspiration, if you tell a story about yourself, this turns into a narrative. Authors often pulled from their own experiences in their stories by creating characters that go through similar events. If this helps you write your story, create yourself as a new character and add more fictional elements, and you're good to go. Now that we've discussed everything, let's take a look at a quick review. Remember, your short story should include characters, dialogue, conflicts, and a well-formatted plot. Your short story should not be a summary or a personal story about your life. If you still have questions or you would like to see some more examples, please feel free to reach out to your teacher. We would be more than happy to help. And that wraps up this mini lesson on writing a short story with situational irony. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you next time.